And I know some of you have tomorrow morning a connecting flight out of Brussels. You may be worried about that also. So from the moment any decision taken in Freetown, we will come back to you with all the information needed. Thank you for that. As our captain informed you, so the airport in Monrovia is closed because there is no electricity at the moment. They are trying to fix it, but we had some fuel to do a few As our captain informed you, so the airport in Monrovia is closed because there is no electricity at the moment. They are trying to fix it, but we had some fuel to do a few miles fly around. But until now we don't have any contact with the airport of Monrovia, so we have decided to go back to Freetown. In Freetown we will see if we can take some fuel and what the decision will be onwards. So if you have any questions, please do not ask our cabin crew at the moment. From the moment we have news, we will come back to you, because once landed, we need to organize fuel, we need to organize the flight again. So this takes a bit of time. So as soon as we have information, we will come back to you. And I know some of you have tomorrow morning a connecting flight out of Brussels. You may be worried about that also. So from the moment any decision taken in Freetown, we will come back to you with all the information needed. Thank you for that. As our captain informed you, so the airport in Monrovia is closed because there is no electricity at the moment. They are trying to fix it, but we had some fuel to do a few As our captain informed you, so the airport in Monrovia is closed because there is no electricity at the moment. They are trying to fix it, but we had some fuel to do a few miles fly around. But until now we don't have any contact with the airport of Monrovia, so we have decided to go back to Freetown. In Freetown we will see if we can take some fuel and what the decision will be onwards. So if you have any questions, please do not ask our cabin crew at the moment. From the moment we have news, we will come back to you, because once landed, we need to organize
AK on the beat.
Move it up, Good morning, my people listening. I'm up early this morning because I have a, radio interview this morning with Voice FM Bong County, and so it is the Daybreak Bong show. And so at any moment now, I'll be joining their studio upon receiving the call to begin this interview. Something that we all have to do to make sure we're pushing the message of real change. It is about 4 o'clock a.m. in the morning here on my site. I had to make a little bit of adjustment this morning to be on this radio station to talk about all of the things and questions. Hopefully, we'll have an opportunity to interact with callers on the radio. So please feel free to follow and listening in as we begin the interview. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Listening. We're up this morning, gearing up for an interview on the voice event in Bond County. Good morning, Bond show. We'll be conducting an interview this morning, and we're on to see how best we can further the conversation. So, upon connecting the studio, you'll be able to follow in on the interview early this morning. We're just waiting to lend our collective voice to all of the issues there are, speaking of Mr. Cummings and the way forward. So I will be back on with you shortly.
AK on the beat.
yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. It is about 4 o'clock a.m. on my side. So I am up this early morning with the focus on discussing issues pertinent to Liberia. I'm waiting for the call from the studio in Bond County, and we'll be doing a quick interview today and then interacting with callers. Excuse me. So as soon as I do get that particular call from studio, we're connecting already, we'll be able to, carry the interview live this morning. It's about 4 a.m. on my side, and I had to make some adjustments to the time this morning to be able to hop on this early morning show in Liberia and just answer the questions and provide some level of clarity and then take calls from callers about, what we will be speaking about. So I'm really excited about that opportunity, and hopefully we can be able to lend our voices today to listen to the listening audience in the area of Bond County, which remains one of the most strategic areas for voters and one of the most economically, impacted areas. Just a little history of Bone County is where we have the Phoebe Hospital, one of the well-known hospitals in the country. We have the Cottington University, college. So Cottington's there. Also, the Central for Agriculture Research Institute, CARI, that's been behind a lot of the low agriculture initiatives. So my intent is to, tell them a little bit about Mr. Cummings, focus on the issues on the job growth strategy, and then, talk about the little work that we've done in the Bond County area, and then take some questions from the journalists there, and then in the end open up the lines so we can get some calls from the listening audience there. So thank you. Good morning, Sis Matt. I appreciate it. I am just here this morning waiting for them to connect with me shortly, and once I get that particular call back from studio, we will be moving into the conversation and just talking about all of this. So just bear with me as we await. Interview is supposed to start around about 4:20. I mean, which is about 8:20 Liberian time. And so once we do that, I'll go ahead and actually put that on. Unfortunately, they're not able to connect the studio, but however, I will be able to put the audio on in the back, like I've done with other interviews, and you should be able to hear the engagement between the individual and I. So I want to say thank you all. We're all making the sacrifices. It is early this morning on my side, but I had to get up and see how best I could, adjust my time to be on this radio station. This will not be the first. There will be the bunch of several radio stations that will be covering across the country and just talking about those pertinent issues. So again, thank you all. Let's continue to make this happen, make the case. Thank you.
AK on the beat.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm waiting the studio to go live, and then we will begin this interview. Looking forward to another conversation of Seldom Mr. Comics talking ABC. Right. That's what we do. That's what we're going to continue to build upon. So, yeah, my people. Yeah, thank you for following this morning. As it's a little early in the United States, but that's what we have to do to make sure we're putting forth the message. So follow along as we get ready. Good morning, people listening. I want to say thanks to all of you. This is early; it's about 4:20 a.m. and pretty soon we will be joining the radio station in Liberia, a voice of Bonk, and it's Good Morning Bonk. We will be talking to the radio station, the people of Bonk County, talking about Mr. Cummings, answering the questions, and so this is going to be a pretty interesting dialogue, and hopefully we'll continue to make the case as well. Just a little backdrop. Voice FM on which is 103.9, and Daybreak Bong is the name of the early morning show. We will be on there talking about Mr. Cummings, giving a little bit overview about Mr. Cummings and the campaign, his vision for Liberia. In the same breath, we will be trying to make sure we're providing solid arguments, and then the phone lines will be open for them to have people call in and ask the questions. So the intent here is for me to speak to the issues. Number one, and number two, highlight some of the different visions, and mainly I will be focusing on the economic job growth, especially for a place like Bond County. That's going to be my focal point. So hopefully, we can have a great conversation this morning. It is about 4:22 a.m. on my side, Eastern Standard Time, and I believe it's about 8:22 a.m. in Liberia. So 4 hours, 22 minutes difference here, and pretty much 4 hours difference, roughly about in Liberia. And so I had to adjust my schedule this morning just to make sure that I was going to be able to be make that appearance this morning. This is a little sacrifice that all of us have to do to ensure that we're discussing, we're putting forth the message there. I will also have another interview coming up in Lo-Fi County, another interview in Bong County, hopefully another one in Montserrat. And as always, we will try to make ourselves available on the closing argument on Truth FM and also Hot FM as well. So appreciate it. We will do that. So the song in the back is Bosiedu, and it is by Sonny God Dear Boy. It is the song for Charlene Brumskin that was actually released. A very good song that I really enjoy listening to as well. So I see that the radio station is actually typing. Let's see what they're about to say, and hopefully, maybe we can be able to connect to the radio station and begin this conversation that I look forward to. So continue to share the link, continue listening in, and let's make this year a very, very healthy interview on radio. Voice FM Bunk 103.9. All right, so the city will call soon. Let me play the music here while we're waiting for that call. Thank you. Yeah. If you follow my people, I'm going to studio in Nigeria. Pretty much
Don't say
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Again, this is Duke, and we are getting ready for our radio broadcast on Voice FM 103.9.
AK on the beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta tell you something funny. So I'm sleeping. So I stayed up a little bit up to about 11 o'clock last night because NFL football season finally started, and so the Kansas City Chiefs were playing Detroit. So that game ended, and I decided to go to bed. Usually, I'll be up to like 12 o'clock. I said, let me sleep a little bit so I can be up about 3:45 to be able to catch the radio station. I go ahead, and then I woke up this morning and I see the radio station trying to call me around about 2:22 this morning. And the guy like, can you come on right now? So what guys to do? Listening. We had a time scheduled for this time. Yeah, I was sleeping. He said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, man, come on, man. I was not going to be up that early. But anyways, we're waiting for them to get back to us. And soon we'll connect there. That's Liberia time. And we will do that interview pretty shortly. So hang on for me.
AK on the beats.
taking 3 more callers from Bong, and then we'll have to get to the first destination back to Bristol. But meanwhile, Manuel Tuba, what's up, my man? You're in fantastic. Yeah, look at the volume when you're speaking because oh, okay, yeah. We would do that. So I think I had the music playing in the back. That's why. Let me know if you can hear me now. The music was playing in the back. That's why you are not hearing me. But let me know if you can hear me now as I speak. I think it was because I had the music playing in the back. So in the back, just let me know if you can hear me. All right, perfect. Yeah, it's because I had that music playing in the back. So once the music is playing, we have that. So I'll go ahead and play the music. But once we switch to the interview, then you should be able to hear me clearer. Sorry, I have my lights on in the back. I have open windows here. So sometimes with this early in the morning, it's still dark. I don't want people looking up directly in my place here. So, but just pardon me. The good thing is we'll be able to get the audio from the interview, and that's what is important. So we will be on shortly with Voice FM 103.9, Daybreak Bong. And so let's get ready to go live with them shortly. Let me go ahead and put that music
AK on the beats.
Hey,
Just hold on a minute, Chief. Yeah, we will have. All right, absolutely. Just hold on a minute. Okay. All right, so we're about to join the radio station here, as you heard in the back. We are ready for the interview, and so shortly you will be hearing the radio station. Let me just put this up here.
AK on the beats.
Indeed, what do you want from me from Central Liberia? What do you want from me in this country? Whatsoever you want from you got to talk it this morning. This morning we have on the line Mr. Duke JJ. I hope I get in the name, but he will call his full name. He is an executive member of ANC Global CPP Communication National Campaign on research. So we'd like to say good morning on the US. Good morning, man. How's the people of Bong County this morning? We are doing great. I hope you are doing great as well. I'm doing wonderful, man. It's a little early on my end, but for Liberia, we will make the necessary adjustments to speak to our people. How is the ANC global network there? Oh, it is strong. One of the most potent and vibrant political outlets in the diaspora. By the way, we have people in Monrovia as I speak, and a group that will be leaving for Liberia shortly. And so everything is well here. We're looking forward to the October 10th election, and that's where things stands as I speak. Somebody will want to understand what is this network for, and what are you coming to Liberia to do, and when are you coming? So listen, we are the diaspora arm of the ANC. We, support the vision of Mr. Cummings in Liberia. Our hope is that the Liberian people can get the kind of leadership that they deserve. And so that's the intent. And, we are coming, well, we've been in Liberia back and forth, helping with party work and doing mobilization across the country. We will be returning to make our voices heard and engage our people further as we move on into the October general election. So pretty soon, I believe as of this week, we have another batch of Liberians from the diaspora that are returning home to be part of the elections in Liberia. Mr. JJ, somebody will want to know why Alexander wants to be president of Liberia, or why some of you guys are supporting him want for this man to be president of this country. Thank you. Look, we are familiar with the issues in our country. And for the most of us, we were, able to live in Liberia, grow up in Liberia, and have the opportunity to come into another country, all right, and experience the level of structure and life here in the developed nations. We believe that what Liberia needs is a leader with vision, somebody who understands how to be able to produce results. My support, or our support for Mr. Cummings, stands from that fact. We have seen this consistent mediocrity across the board in Liberia. We believe that some of the pertinent issues, especially on the issue of employment and private sector growth, can be addressed if we have committed public servants and a leader like Mr. Cummings, who understands the essence of driving economic development through, actionable items through implementation. And so this is the focal point. This is the reason why we support, because we think he has integrity. He has the skill set needed to be able to drive job growth across the country. What have you seen so far? Don't you see the thing that Mr. Comey wants to do? Haven't you seen some of them being done by this current government? Look, if you are in the country today, my response to that is that look at where you are now. Are you better off in Liberia today than you were a couple of years ago? Or let's look at the past 40 plus years in Liberia. Have we been all been living in the country that we're satisfied with? My answer to your question is absolutely no. Today, there's almost there is a non-existent private sector, meaning that majority of the young people who leave Cottington University get their degrees, they move into a non-existent private sector. There's no jobs, there's no employment for them. Government still remains one of the highest employers when it comes to a job in that country. So I think something needs to change, and we can only do that by making sure we're supporting Mr. Cummings and his agenda for Liberia. That's the focal point. I don't think anything's working in the country, and my belief is that we need to be able to usher change, and that change can only happen if we elect somebody like Mr. Cummings with the vision to impact the lives of our people.
Corruption is the talk of the day in our country. What is Mr. Cummings' vision for this country in terms of minimizing or eradicating? I know it cannot finish for any society. What is his stand against corruption?
Yes, you see, I'm glad you asked that question because I said that my focus is going to be on the issue of corruption, integrity, and then job growth, which is the private sector. In the case of Liberia, we have had widespread issues of corruption in not only in our body politics, but in government as a whole. As of recent, you saw the United States stepping in and sanctioning certain officials of government, right? And throughout our time, we've seen consistently wherein people in power have abused the position of power to be able to exploit the Liberian people. Mr. Cummings' vision for Liberia when it comes to corruption is pretty simple. He understands that this has been a long-standing issue, and on day one, what he said that he doesn't want to take a salary as president, but what he would do is to put forth the necessary instructions that the monies that are actually allocated to pay him as president be given to those accountability sectors that can help fight corruption. So on day one, we want to empower the General Auditing Commission and other agencies within government that are responsible for fighting corruption. We want to make sure that we're actually creating a digital payment system. And yes, the logic behind that. In this kind of economy, in this kind of global society, we don't think that cash needs to be in the hands of people, right? It only gives opportunity for people to be able to exploit and to be able to steal from the country. And so a digital payment system will allow people now to transact businesses using, electronic means, giving us an opportunity to be able to track payments and incoming payments and revenue, especially the key areas. That's a smart way to fight corruption, and then be very intentional about punishing people for corruption. Mr. Cummings has said over time, look, we welcome every Liberian in terms of the support. But if you support me with the intent that you want to come and steal from this country, it's not going to happen because I'm going to punish you. And nobody's going to stop me from doing that because we need to set an example. I think his fierce leadership, his vision on corruption, and all of the stands that he has put forth thus far gives me the assurance that he will have a very drastic approach to the issue of corruption, something that we need to do to be able to put government back in the hands of the Liberian people.
But look at his stand on the issue of drugs in our country. It is one of the trending issues in Liberia. What is the take on drugs?
A brilliant question. So recently, I believe a week or two ago, he did emphasize his stance on corruption. Look, our young brothers and sisters in that country are wasting away because of the issue of drugs that are being imported in the country. Mr. Cummings been the only person that's been very clear about how he intends to be able to fight this issue. He introduced a concept talking about the supply and demand aspect of fighting drugs, meaning from a supply perspective, looking at where these drugs are coming from, the port of entries, the sectors responsible, and making sure that we're being tougher and stricter in making sure that we're spotting those things from the onset and providing the necessary support to be able to stop the importation of drugs in the country. Also, the demand aspect. We have to go back to the root cause. Why is it too many of our young Liberians are actually wasting their life away by taking something like Kush, right? And involving themselves in those bad practices. If you look at it, you will see that from a demand aspect, the economic challenges that these young people are facing puts them in a position where they're vulnerable to, a lot of these things that are happening across the country. So he wants to create a wholesome approach. And what that is that he wants the community, he wants the schools, he wants the churches, he wants government to take full responsibility in making sure not only we are rehabilitating those people, but we're creating a conducive economic environment so they can come with the skill set needed to be able to compete and find jobs that will keep them away from, taking in drugs as well. That's why I said building a vibrant economy is one of the ways to be able to fight this issue. Because if even you rehabilitate people and you come, there are no jobs, there are no opportunities for them to be able to build a life outside of all of the challenges that they see, will run back into that. So he has a supply and demand approach and a very detailed fight and stance on drug addiction and on the issue of drug importation and on also the user perspective. And I think all of those makes him or puts him in a position wherein he can be able to further help our people when it comes to the area of drugs and the issues impacting our young people in that country.
Honorable Cummings from the southeastern side of the country, and the issue about by-road connectivities is south of the country, Maryland and so forth. These are hard to reach communities. What is he going to be putting forth in terms of paving that part of the country in terms of road connectivity?
Yeah. Look, the road issue in our country is something that we cannot continue to overlook, especially for the Southeast. Just imagine the economic impact, the positive economic impacts that the nation can feel if we link the Southeast to the rest of the country and we're able to provide some level of economic activity. That's why private sector growth remains the focal point of the comics agenda. But to address that issue, why do we continue to struggle with the development of roads and other infrastructure across the country? The truth here is we have not had a functioning private sector. If you're a country who is still heavily reliant on foreign aids and donation to be able to fund your budget, it speaks about the level of challenges. So we have to figure out how to create or build a vibrant private sector by making sure we're creating short-term economic kickstarters to put our people back to work. But there has to be a vicious plan in tackling the issues of road connectivity. And Mr. Cummings admitted the other day to get into the southeast, he had to go by way of the Ivory Coast. And a lot of people, including the government, have done that. That's an embarrassment to our country. And this shows that government hasn't been working. And so the CPP administration under Mr. Cummings is going to focus on those key areas and seeing how best we can make them part of the development agenda. And, as part of his developmental agenda, he has argued that, we need to look at something called ecotourism. If you look at the Southeast, if you look at places like Maryland, those places are really blessed with natural viewpoints, waterways, beaches, and all of those areas. So looking at something like an ecotourism oasis, where we're identifying places like Maryland and other parts of the Southeast as tourist destination and providing the short-term capabilities that are needed to create roads and infrastructures so that we can be able to see some level of attractions and foreign visits and tourism in that area to spur economic growth. So those will be part of the plan, an aggressive plan. And from day one, I'm telling you, once Mr. Cummings is elected, you see him out there putting his people to work and making sure we're tackling those issues from the onset.
All of what you are saying, there are a lot of people in Liberia that believe that this CDC government has done much, has done more for her people. And it would just be important, even though Mr. Comey is a good man with a good vision for the country, but it is about time that you guys support the CDC government for the second term, after which Mr. Comey, who has a very good vision for the country, can be able to take the president. What do you say to that?
Look, if anybody thinks that the country is functioning as it is, then I need to have a conversation with that person and be honest. Let's look at Bong County. How many people are unemployed in Bong County? Let's look at the overall nation's economy. Where is Liberia's economy as we speak? When you say that the current government is doing a lot for the people, what exactly are they doing? Look, we have to graduate from this mindset of mediocrity and be truthful when when we discuss these national issues. The country has been the bedrock of disaster, and that's public service disaster. The government, as it stands, is not functioning. You have a government that cannot tell you how many people it has put back to work. You cannot run a country as if it is a personal project or it is an institution where you can go and donate rights to people and think that's development. Development is making sure that you have people employed in the private sector. It's making sure that government policies are actually working for the people of Liberia. Bong County is one of the most strategic countries when it comes to agriculture. You tell me what kind of movements you've seen in the space of agriculture. Look at Phoebe Hospital today. Can you tell me that Phoebe Hospital is getting the kind of support that it needs to get. I can tell you today that it is not working. I know of the issues at Phoebe Hospital because as of recent, my team and I were able to construct a closet, maternal closet at the Links, women's room, maternal center at Phoebe Hospital. You know why? Because government did not provide the items needed for pregnant mama and the babies to be able to seek treatment. It was the effort of my team and I to open a free closet at Phoebe Hospital, wherein now pregnant women who cannot afford can walk into that hospital to deliver the babies and they'll be able to get one of those kids. So there is an existing issue that screams incompetence across the country. Our data, international data, shows that economically speaking, Liberia is in the deplorable state. Liberia is still one of the 10th poorest country in the world. So you cannot tell me that the government is functioning while people are not working and the country is struggling. Market women are still crying about people buying the goose and paying for the services. That's not growth and development. That's not doing what's right for the people. And I think we need change and we need a leader with vision that can actually drive an impactful people first agenda.
Government is building rules. Government is paying wise fee for students. Government is building housing unit. Government is doing so many other different things. So why would you say all this here and not something?
How many people in Liberia can tell you today that they're benefiting from housing units? If there are roads being constructed across the country, why is not being reflective in the private sector growth of the country? You're talking about developmental units. I want you to point specifically and tell me when you look across the country in Liberia, out of the more than 5 million people in that country, how many of those people are really feeling the impacts of the economic agenda? Look, Liberia is not a joke. Liberia is not a comedy hub. Liberia is not a country that should be taken as a class project. We need a national growth agenda. We don't need people to come and treat this country as if it is the political project wherein they do sporadic investments and all of that stuff and think that it is impacting the lives of the Liberian people. I know for a fact that people still remain poor in that country. I know today when you have young people graduating from Continental University, there are no jobs to employ them. I know there's widespread corruption across the country. I know there's some families tonight in Bong County that will go to sleep and say that, we don't have the level of resources. I know the parents across the country that cannot pay for the children's school fees. So what WAF's fee? What good are those things when they're not impacting the over 5 million people? Developmental agenda is not about partial, perspective. It is not about certain group of people. It is not talking points. It is actual tangibles, actual numbers and data that shows there's some level of economic change in the country. At this point in time, we don't see that, and we need to be very mindful about how we're promoting those things.
So this morning we have an official currently in the United States of America. They are pushing the ideology of Alexander Benedict Cummings. They want for Mr. Cummings to be president. He has named so many things. Mr. JJ is on the line from the United States of America. He is on the CPP Communications national campaign team, especially in research. This is when you, after your teams travel from these different communities in Liberia, is the message resonating with the ordinary people? Are they gravitating towards this team?
Look,
do you see sincerity in the people?
I do see sincerity in the people. Look, one thing the Liberian people understand, mind you, we have 5 million people across that country. They understand that poverty cut across every family. They understand that job creation is an important issue. They understand that the current administration has failed them. The Liberian people, the most familiar conversation that they're having is that under the current administration, there hasn't been much in terms of job growth and development. They felt that the WIA administration let them down. Remember, this government was elected on the fact that it was a blue revolution that was focused on the downtrodden, the masses. It said that government before did not cater to those issues, economic issues that were being faced by the ordinary people. It said that government before was only focused on the elitists, right? But in the end, it became more corrupt than the people we criticized. And today, the same poor people that they said they were defending are poorer than they were 6 years ago when the WIA administration took over. So the Liberian people understand that, and they understand that there needs to be change. and I trust that they will make the right decision. That's why Mr. Cummings' campaign is taking a different approach. He's going door to door. He's walking on his feet into those hard to reach areas. He's connecting with our people. He's talking to them. And I know in Liberia, there are silent voters that our mom and our pa, our parents in that country, who see that the country is going in the wrong direction and the need to be able to make the right decision in terms of making sure that we're giving leadership to a man who understands how to guide that country into this age of globalization.
A lot of people believe that Kwame made one mistake by not holding together as opposition, the Unity Party. Some people say Kwame is one person that he has said consistently that he wants to face Liberia, but the only area he can face the country is only when he becomes president. He is power grief in their world because it is one of the reasons why he did not join the Unity Party as the second president on that team to make sure that to lead the country. All he wants to do is for himself, for himself, for himself. That is why he left the his colleagues, the Unity Party, and the Liberty Party, where they have confusion today.
Look, those are all fallacies. Let's go to the truth of this. Mr. Cummings took over the CPP and led the CPP to a massive win. It was under the Cummings administration during the CPP that we experienced some of the highest amount of political victories that's ever happened in our nation's history. That's a proven fact. On the issue of Mr. Cummings not wanting to be a second, look, my people, let's stop pushing those kind of fallacies. The question I want to ask people who are making those arguments: when did Joseph Boyka ever approach Alexander Cummings about running on the joint ticket? He never did. The truth here is the former vice president is a tribalist who do not see Mr. Cummings as somebody that needs to change the hearts and minds of the Liberian people. So he never approached him. In addition, Mr. Cummings have already made this argument, and I say that the most impactful way to change the Liberian people's story is through the presidency. And that's what we're aiming for. Look, when it comes to the CPP, let me be very clear on this radio station today. Mr. Cummings fought to keep the CPP intact, the original arrangement. It was the Unity Party, and as you know, as of recent, Mr. Ure and Henry Costa confessed that Joseph Boyka orchestrated this thing, instructed them to create lies against Mr. Cummings. That's why when it went to court, in the end, that case was kicked off because it was nothing but lies and deception. Even at that, when they betrayed this man, when they lied on him, when they orchestrated the political crimes as they've done to the people of Liberia for decades, he kept the CPP intact, and on October 10th, the CPP would be on the ballot. I think the most important issue that I want Liberians to focus on is this. Amongst the three individuals that are vying for the presidency, who is more competent, who is more qualified? I would say Alexander Cummings. And here are the facts. You elected George Weah to change the country. The country is an absolute mess today. Economically, Liberia is in the deplorable condition. You have a Joseph Boyka who served in government for 50 years. He has led agriculture, CARI, the Center for Agricultural Research Institute in Bong County, that should be at the forefront of agriculture development and advancement in that country. Today, CARI is struggling because people like Joseph Boyka exploited the people of Liberia. Remember, back in the 80s, millions of dollars were poured into agriculture by the United States government and given to the Liberian Produce Marketing Corporation and the Ministry of Agriculture to empower agencies and places like CARI. Where did this money go? The U.S. government said those monies were actually embezzled. So the issues that we're speaking about is a long-standing issue of corruption, failed leadership and governance, and how to address it. We cannot continue to put ourselves and our people in this kind of predicament. We need real change. We need a leader who understands how to create jobs. We need a leader who needs to prioritize young people, somebody who can tackle the issue of corruption. Look, Liberia is not an okay country. Liberia is still a poor nation. We cannot continue to use those same people who have exploited the people of Liberia as solution agents. We need change, and this is what Mr. Cummings offers, and that's why they've been fighting him, because they see him as somebody who's there to take down the status quo, and they're afraid that our Cummings presidency will mean that a lot of them will end up in jail for exploiting the Liberian people. That's our focal point, and that's what we're moving to when it comes to the October 10 general elections.
Mr. JJ, what is the difference between rescue and FISA or FIS? What is it?
Well, the people who are running on the rescue mantra are the same corrupt people who have stolen from the Liberian people. Joseph Boyka stole millions of dollars when the US government gave him money for agriculture in that country. It is proven, it's on record, right? So in the rescue team, we're seeing a man who has been in government for 50 plus years. The former vice president who could have effectuated change, but today say he squandered opportunities. Liberians, the lives are not being changed after 50 years. Remember,
the
after
man said he was a racing car.
What park car? No, but if you're a park car and you stole from the Liberian people, then you need to remain parked. You don't offer any solutions for the Liberian people. That's what we're speaking about. These people have not offered ideas. They have not offered reform. And you know the sad thing, Samuel? Let me educate you here today. These people have become millionaires at the expense of the Liberian people. For 50 plus years in government, these guys have become multimillionaires because people like you, the ordinary poor people, the taxes have made them wealthy people in that country. Where are your children today? Your children can't even afford school fees. Your parents are retiring in that country with no money coming in. They're struggling to survive. Why these people have become millionaires? So the whole idea of fixer just embodied corruption. It embodied the same field poor leadership, nothing new to offer, and that's what that ticket represents. When we talk about fixing, I mean the rescue team. When we talk about fixing Liberia, we're looking at all of the economic challenges. We're looking at the issue of corruption. We say Mr. Cummings is the most competent, qualified, along with Councillor Charlene Brumskin, that can be able to effectuate change. That's what our message of change is resonating. We believe that Liberia have experienced people like Joseph Boyka in politics. They have experienced the likes of George Weah. The country is still poor today because those people had nothing to offer. To change Liberia, we need vision, we need practicality, we need somebody who's proven. Mr. Cummings have been proven in the private sector. He has what it takes. And that's the difference between people who are rescuing because they're corrupt and people who are coming in because they have not been part of that system and they want to bring forth real change.
The Unity Party say their first thing or their first target or their first stop in the 90 days through the Ambassador Boyka will be the issue of attacking corruption. That's why they have taken one expert on their team to make sure to prosecute criminals. Do you see that working under the administration?
What do you trust an armed robber to with prosecuting itself?
Who do you call armed robber?
You're the Unity Party under the Joseph Newman Boyka. These people have orchestrated some of the worst, form of corruption in the country. Let's look at the facts. Okay, you have a man like Alex Stalin. You have a Joseph Boyka who is on record by the United States government, for investing millions of dollars that were actually put into LPNC and the Ministry of Agriculture. Where in the world do you see people who have abused the laws, that have abused the Liberian people, offer themselves as integrity icon? Look, let's be serious. The people of Liberia are not stupid people. The people of Liberia are educated people. They're informed. Some of them may not be as lectured, but they know, they understand. Where do you take people who have been corrupt and you say that these people who have been corrupt will come and rescue you, or they will come and fight or tackle the issue of corruption? They're the same people. Let's look at the proxy vice president, because we know Prince Johnson will be the same person, controlling the likes of Jeremiah Cohn. Cohn diverted public monies to his own personal hospital. That's corruption. That is corruption. Those individuals have nothing but history of corruption. People who have stolen from the Liberian people should not be an option. And that's where Liberians need to vote smarter and understand that we cannot elect these people into public office. So I don't believe that nonsense from the Unity Party. It's all smoke screen. They're not serious about changing Liberia. And they're the same people who have exploited our poor people in that country.
So this morning, call us on 0555-760535, 0555-760535, 0776-64-2020, 0776-64-2020. Mr. JJ will be on the line, and then we'll go to the call line to begin to take our calls. This morning, we have the first person on the line here this morning. Let me see what I can get to them. Good morning. Good morning. What's your name? Okay, go hear you.
has decided to re-elect President George Manasseh based on his moral contribution to our country because of the development that we are carrying on his country that has never seen it, paying his wild fees for high students, paying his university construction of rural all over the country and watching it. And I want from our brother in the US there to come down here and give us any side of our development anyway too. Maybe sitting out there to actually laugh.
But the message he was in Liberia here. The message he was in Liberia here. So you don't see the man is sitting in the US. Like he is a Liberian. He has an impact in the country. That's why he said he has been in the country. 0-555-76-0535. Don't talk to this person this morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, brother.
Please leave away from the monitor. Good morning. You said your name. You said your name and where you calling from.
My name is Cousin Johnson Jacob. Swakoko.
Don't hear it this morning from Swakoko.
Yeah, let me say thank you to our brother in diaspora. Yes, diaspora and that's it. So we know we that in Nigeria, all here, and know where Nigeria was before, and now it is today. He spoke about Joseph Walker. I spoke with the Water Research Institute and the Workers' Union President and the second Water Research Institute. I just want to tell him that during my study government, the research institute was far enough better as compared to him. And a lot of sites has improved to him. And I'm ready to go along with him the platform can be provided for us. So you see, these are some of the deception we talk about for people. I want this caller to tell me, yesterday just to tell me, what the history he knows about Gary.
Okay, so he will tell you he listening already. He will give you the history he knew about Carrie. So I hope you are taking the point down this morning.
No, absolutely, I got that.
Good morning. Please leave the monitor. Good morning. What's your name? Yeah, Lord. Okay. So 0-555-76-0535 0776-642020. Our guest is taking down the point and we'll go to him to respond. Good morning. From the broken law here this morning.
Yeah, we heard people talking about rescue. How you rescue is most people in group that is corrupt. Like for Bokasi, one seems to have called once outside of the court activity to want to do some work. Yeah, we work for them. Later on, who do all the great work and run away from us. The next time I see you are covering, they say, oh, you have this machine gun. Okay, now, let's see. They have people from the country. They have a really corrupt rule. So I think we don't want to fool us. Yeah.
All right. So they are taking your point this morning. 055760535 0776642020. We'll take 5% and go to our guest. Good morning. Good morning. What's your name?
It doesn't beat up. I'm calling you from Silver Compound.
Oh, yeah, from Silver Compound.
Yes, thank you so much. I want to say thank you this morning for the program, and I want to tell my brother who is talking so many things like God for heaven. I want you to know that it is he himself that talking all those things this morning we're hearing. And I'm not too well. I want to get this to Paul. Even if it is he that gets into power today, you and I are going to lay part of faith and preparation. There's nobody perfect. But when it comes to approaching people who you know to be your father or your mother, that will be your uncle, you got to be professional on the radio, on the national radio. You're sitting in a state there, you're doing everything for your family are down here, it's safe. For me, I don't have problem with the George Weah government. I can tell people, I voted for him. I didn't vote for him, but my who wouldn't mind. I voted for him because of my wife, because that's her birthday.
Do you have problem with Alexander Cummings?
What?
Do you have problem with Alexander Cummings?
I don't have problem with Mr. Cummings. I tell people, if my like brothers and sisters were like me, for me, what we should be telling our leaders in this country is to help us to develop this country. If we want to carry on any project, that should be our project. That should be the mindset of leaders.
Thank you so much.
To help us to develop this country, not to get in the street and call somebody man and call somebody power. That will benefit you. If you got your own parents sitting down, you will not allow somebody to call your man or your father.
Thank you so much. So thank you so much. We'll take four more questions and go to our guest this morning. We got to do it this morning. 3 more. Good morning. Good morning. What's your name?
This is Joseph Isaac calling from Bong County.
Do I hear you from Bong County?
Okay. So I understood let me tell you student there, and I'm sure this line was open so that people can send in for those who want to tap in for. I like to encourage like my people to vote Joseph Boakai. You know, most persons have been saying now in the market that the president is in the goal. Let them show me one goal that the president has built. All of those goals that have been built when we shifted our started by any president that any job president and government is 120.
All right, so he said he won't vote for Joseph Boakai. That's what he thinks. But the man is talking about Arizona Cummings this morning. Zero. Let's talk to this president. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is
Lord hear you.
Yeah, what about this? I just you don't want to after Joseph Boakai, you have to join so what is opposition will come to this country? You focus on your eating about this now. It's for the better solution. But you have like opposition is the one that they want to come to whatever it might be.
All right. The man is saying that he is coming to the table to face the country. So if you are not been following him, so just follow him. He is pushing the ideology of Alexander Cummings. He giving you a reason why you should reject these people and then take Alexander Cummings. You say asking the man. I don't know whether you follow me. 055560535. 2 more presents. I'll take this one. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah,
Do I hear you?
yeah, I just want to tell the student that he spoke of Mr. Boakai sponsoring huge millions of dollars from the FPMC to his time at the FPMC boss in Nigeria. Can you just give the link as to the money that was pumped into the FPMC project during that time? And I can remember, although I was a child, but my parents always spoke of the good work of the FPMC before the Civil War. And after the Civil War, has the FPMC done? Those who been hearing agriculture and everything that grew up, what has this done?
All right. So he will answer you. We'll take the last most. We'll take 1 person. We'll take the 1 person. 05557600535. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
I'm calling from Telefane, so that is
Do I hear you from Telefane?
Yeah, my brother, what I'm concerned to do with the problem of Bong County. Few years back again, we were here talking about the developmental oriented and why is it that we Liberians are just get on the wrong page every time we will bring someone at the end of the day with general and say about all the person is now we can see that our country is going backward. Look at just country like Guinea, very close to us. They are getting more advanced than us as we like when they used to come again, they are getting pressure. Why can't we just see that on the kind of country and just every day the person is good, the other person is bad, the other person is good.
Thank you so much for your point.
That's my concern.
Thank you. So, Mr. JJ, you've been following the question.
Yes.
Why are you laughing?
Look, I love this. This is why I love the interaction with my people. You see, look, this is what we must do to educate the people. And when I come on a radio station, I come with facts. Today, I will educate the listening audience about the facts and let them be the judge. Let me start with the last question. I understand the frustration of the gentleman when he said every day we elect leaders, when we come, we see the bad leaders, we change them. He's right. You know why? Because we have not been voting the way that we should vote. If you take people who have shown you over time that they cannot fix the issue in the country, that they will continue to be corrupt, and you put them in position of authority, you're not going to get anything but the same behaviors. Coming today and knowing that George Weah told you he was going to be a different leader and came into office, becoming one of the most destructive presidents in the history of our nation. And then today, pushing the interest of a boycott as solution, this is a clear indication that some of you have not learned. Excuse me. And that's why we'll continue to have these issues if we don't put a stop to it. People who have shown us over time that they have been bad for the country cannot be solutions. This man worked in government for 50 years. You cannot tell us exactly what he did to change the country through his office, became a multimillionaire. But today you want us to believe that the same people who have been bad for the country are solutions today. That's why we keep complaining about bad leaders, because we're voting about those for the same people. My brother on the first caller, you know, one of the things that's so negative in Liberia, we have our brothers calling from the diaspora. Then we start to create this division. They may come on the ground as if it changes anything. But let me correct the brother here. My brother, I am familiar with Bong County. The work that we've done in Bong County shows. Let me say on the record today. You remember, if you're in studio, there was a recent flooding that happened in Bong County. Do you remember? I think it was last year.
Okay.
There was a major flood. My team and I were the first group of people before even the government showed face in there. You know what we did? We assessed the area of the damage. We provided zinc for the people whose houses that were damaged. We provided food. We provided money, small business cash assistance for people who lost their businesses. That's the impact that we have done in Bong County. We did that. So we have not been sitting down. We have been impacting the lives of people in Bong County today. Go in that particular district and ask the people about the young people who went there to take the initiative to come to the rescue. I have the information. You go on social media, you'll see the pages. We have served our country. We have impacted the lives of our people. Another one, go to Phoebe Hospital maternal waiting room. Ask them about the maternal closet. Ask them and say, Nana, do you have mama baby kids? Our mothers in Bong County who were turned away from the hospitals because they don't have those life-saving items to be treated. We provided free items for the poor people who do not have money because we say government did not have the resources to even continue that closet after Africa left it. We took the initiative and put those items in there to impact the lives of our people. If government were working, do you think we'll be intervening to provide help when the government should have created a budget to be able to assist the people of Bong County? We have done our due diligence. Respect your fellow Liberians who have made the sacrifices to change the lives of the people, but don't be condescending when we come and make this case. We're making an argument because some of the same things that you're concerned about today that's not happening in the country, we have been making the effort to change that. So I just wanted to establish that fact. Also, let me come back to the Joseph Boyka part. Today, to the listening audience, And some of you, you know, the reason why some of our people continue to elect these people is because some of you have refused to do your own research. I want to read this quickly, and hopefully the Liberian people can listen. It says rice and the counterpart funds generated from rice sales were misused by the Liberian government agent, the Liberian Produce Marketing Corporation, that was responsible for rice sales. Serious problem became evident in the fiscal years from 1980 to 1987. The misuse included providing rice without payment to Liberian officials, ministries, and other public corporations, using the counterpart funds to purchase local commodities, and for other unauthorized purchases. This unauthorized use contributed to shortfall in the counterpart funds accounts of approximately $16.5 million. This was under the watchful eyes of Joseph Boyka. Now, let me tell you the hypocrisy of some of the people who support the Unity Party. It was just the other day when we were talking about $16 billion missing. It was just the other day when we did the Crow and the Pit investigation, wherein those investigations stated there were things that were not provided by the government of Liberia. The same people who supported Joseph Boyka today say, George, we are stole $16 billion. We have a United States document. What I just read on radio is from the U.S. government through the General Auditing Commission. They, through Tech Kennedy moved to stop aid to Liberia because the Liberian Produce Marketing Corporation stole United States funding. It is true. It is evident. It is on record. So how do you come and tell us when we're educating our people about corruption, when we're telling them about making the right decision, then you come on national radio, my people, and you say the men have never been accused? On what basis? I have the fact. I've provided the fact. These are the issues that are continuing to hold our people back. This is the reason why young people don't have jobs in our country. This is why we don't have a functioning sector. This is what, look, leave Liberia and come to other countries. You will know how that country is in a terrible shape. Leave Liberia, get out of the borders and see the other nations around you and see how those countries are developing. Development, the things that happen in Liberia, that's not development. It is exploitation. And the people think that our people are not educated enough to see these things, so to do the bare minimum to continue to brainwash them. We are not insulting people. We're providing facts. And that's what we're doing here.
So finally, before we go, what's that message you want to cross over to Liberia?
Look, I want to say thank you. Hopefully we'll have more opportunities to continue to talk to our people. Look, in the end, it is about who is more competent, who is more qualified to change the direction of the country. For 50 years, we've had people in government. They have not offered change. Our people are still suffering. Young people don't have no jobs. Mr. Cummings and Charlene Brumskin brings a different perspective when it comes to governance and leadership. His vision is to put jobs and monies into the pocket of the ordinary people. He would do that by prioritizing Bong County, by prioritizing Liberians, and making sure we're holding people accountable, but providing jobs. He is the most competent, the most qualified, and he has a robust policies that's going to effectuate change. So thank you, my people. If you're a pregnant ma, our sister, then go to Phoebe Maternal Waiting Room. They have your mama baby kids there. Once you meet the qualification, the criteria, they will be able to assist you. Those are the things we're helping to impact the lives of our people. But we need a president who understands these issues and can change the lives of the Liberian people. I want to say thank you. I think it was a great discussion, and hopefully we can be back on here to have more of these engagements.
Thank you so much this morning.
Thank you.
So he has been Dupe JJ. He's an executive member of the AMC Global CPP Communication National Campaign with specific focus on research. He has been our guest from the United States of America, and we have been talking about the Alternative National Congress and that is that Benedict Cummings. Why Benedict Cummings should be given the chance to be.
Thank you. So, guys, I want to say appreciate it. I think it was a great interview. As always, we will have people from the Unity Party, but the goal is that we must continue to fight and educate the Liberian people about the essence of leadership. I want to say thank you all for being there with me. My people, it's 5 o'clock a.m. here now, 5:39. So I have to go back to bed, but I think it was a great conversation. Let's continue to do what's right for the people of Liberia. Let's continue to make sure that we're engaging our people, the hearts and the minds, as we move forward. It will not be an easy task, but it is doable because we know the Liberians will understand the essence of leadership, and these Liberians will continue to do what is required to change the hearts and minds of the Liberian people. On that note, my name is Duke Estrada JJ. We're done with a great interview, and I look forward to hearing all of you and your feedback. And I think that we've made the case today. Y'all, thank you, all my people. I appreciate all of y'all. And I want to say, man, let's continue to make this case. Today, we will be back on the closing argument at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, talking again about Liberia and talking about Mr. Cummings' vision for Liberia. Hopefully, we can continue to just make our inroads and educate the people. On that note, y'all, thank you, my people. I appreciate all of y'all. Yeah, let's go.
AK on the beats.
Okay, there, my people. I appreciate all of you. It is time to go back to bed. Give me your feedback about the interview. I think it's a great one. Let's continue to speak to the hearts and minds of the Liberian people. I'm going to chart for the studio, and I think they want to do another one again. So that's great. Anyway, we'll be back again. I appreciate all of you. Let's continue to do just that. Thank you.
Solo plus haut, on est fond.
Everybody to donate to this closet. Pick an item, pick 2 items, pick 5 items, just anything you can afford. Share the news. This is for our mothers. This is for the great birth of our future brothers and sisters, our future leaders of Liberia, our future leaders of the world. So this is our Phoebe maternal waiting home comfort closet, again dedicated to our own mother, Catherine Watson Castle. More to come.
Nobody else in my shorty. It's gotta put the end to meet me, I'm coming. I'ma be with me tonight. Make you smile, Angelina. What's the picture? It's passing for you. Passing for you. Now, baby, Angelina. What's the picture? Give me your love, I'm the one. I be a man, I said you happy. If we can get in the play, I know you want to see my baby. Give me your love, I'm the one. I be a man, I said you happy. If we can get in the play.